Nice dinner for you, nice dinner for me. What am I talking about? I'm gonna eat this. Hi everybody, welcome back to Bike to Table. My name's John. We're back. It's food time. We're gonna have a great day today. We're making some honey garlic chicken with some butternut squash and sprouts. It's gonna be great. Let's check out, see what we got at the store. All right, so we already have some chicken breast. We patted that dry with some salt, pepper, and some garlic powder. We have some Brussels sprouts, have this big, huge thing in the middle. That's our butternut squash and our shallot. We have some honey, soy sauce, some minced garlic, some regular butter, and a nice little dinner roll. This is going to be a fun, easy, quick meal for everybody. We're going to do a little bit of prep off camera. Be right back. Okay, our prep work is done. We've halved our Brussels sprouts and we've cubed up our butternut squash. So we're going to want to combine those together. Add in a tablespoon of olive oil, just like that. Now we've already added a tablespoon of olive oil to our pan that we've put on medium heat. So this is going to be the second. We'll sprinkle some pepper on there, sprinkle some salt, get some garlic. There we go. We just want to spoon that together, mix it up good. Once it looks like everything's coated with the olive oil, so we have our large pan on medium heat. It's going to go right in for the roasting. Okay, so we have the oil warmed up in our pan. We'll put in the sprouts. Oh, there we go. Got a little straggler there. There we go. We'll put on the sprouts. Stir that around a little bit in the pan. Looking really colorful. You can already smell that garlic and the pepper and the seasonings. It's so good. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover that, let it sit. We're only going to stir that occasionally because we want to get the browning on the butternut squash and the sprouts. So in about 8 minutes or so, we're going to add in the shallots. Next, we're going to get our chicken in. Again, we have our medium pan on medium heat. We have already patted dry the chicken. We've already seasoned it with pepper and salt and garlic salt. All right, there we go. We're going to let that sit and we're going to check on it about 4 minutes or so, see how it's cooking, and if it's ready, we'll flip it over. Time to check on our dinner. This is starting to come along good. You can see that some of the squash is starting to get the brown on the one side. That's exactly what you want to see. You're going to just mix it up a little bit more here. Let that set for about another 4 minutes. Let's check on our chicken. Chicken's looking really good. We'll flip that over. Oh, that smells so good. If you were here, you'd be like, I'm in a restaurant in Italy. It's great. I just wish you could smell how good it is to be in this kitchen right now. You try this, just take it in because it's so good. So in about 3 minutes, we're going to add the shallots in to the butternut squash and sprouts, and we'll let that really get in there, get the flavor throughout. Let me show you what it should look like by now. We have a little bit of the browning starting on the squash. We have some browning starting on the sprouts. It's perfect what you want to see at this stage. And we're going to mix that up a little bit. And don't forget to turn your stuff over so it doesn't burn on the one side. We'll add our shallots that we cut up already. Stir that in. All right. So again, we just cover this and let it set for a few more minutes. Our chicken is just about ready. We'll let it cook for another 1 or 2 minutes. What I've also done, in case you have one, I like using a toaster oven to warm up the plate. I have a toaster oven. I put a plate in there already. I just let it on for just a minute. You don't want to heat up the plate too much and make it hot to the touch. But it's a nice place to rest your chicken or your steak or your pork or whatever it is that you're cooking. You just put it on the plate, cover it with a foil, leave it in there without it being turned on, and that's where you let it rest while you're making your sauce. All right, it's time to rest the chicken. It's looking really good, really nice and done here. We'll grab our warmed up plate from the toaster oven, put the chicken on there, foil it, put it right in. Next, we're going to wipe out the pan because we're going to reuse the pan to make our sauce. Now, we're going to use 1/3 cup of honey. We're going to use a tablespoon of soy sauce and 2 tablespoons of garlic. So here's our 1/3 cup of honey. What I did is I microwaved it for about 10 seconds to warm it up so it's a little bit easier to flow right on out into the pan. There we go. Got our tablespoon of soy sauce in there. There we go. And our 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. And you're just going to want to stir that in together. Again, you're on your medium heat still. Let's turn that down just a little bit. And you see how it's bubbling up at the corners? That's reducing down that soy sauce and concentrating the flavor. It's not going to be as liquid as it is right now in about 2 minutes. At this point also, we're going to turn off the vegetables and we're going to add a tablespoon of butter using 2 half pats of butter. We're going to let that stir in. We'll let that set for a little bit. Go back to our sauce because again, we don't want it to burn, we just want it to concentrate down. And this is the fun part where you get the balance between the sauce and then you finish mixing out the butter because now the butter's all melted. And you can see how this has started to get the roasting there. Got a nice browning on some of the Brussels sprout ends and some of the squash ends. So that's all nice and stirred in. Again, we're going to stir in our sauce. Once it's ready, we're going to add a 1/2 tablespoon of butter in there. And what that's going to do is it's going to give it a nice creaminess and also help thicken it up. Yeah, you can see how it's starting to come down now. See how much less is in the pan right now and how it's separating out like that? It's looking really good. It smells even better. You can see how it's getting a little bit thick here. Just about time for the butter, so we're going to turn off the heat and add in our butter. Let that melt right in. We'll stir that in. Again, you're creating a little bit of creaminess to the sauce. You're thickening it up a little bit because you're pulling it off of the heat at this point. Butter melts right in. It's looking like a really nice sauce. Look at that, right across the pan. Really, really nice. That's looking great. And you know, it's my favorite time. Let's plate it up. All right, so we put our chicken on our plate first. That's rested really nice, and this plate is still warm. Have our nice steamy, buttery, garlicky, amazing butternut squash and sprouts. You can see how it's roasted on there for some of these pieces. Turned out really nice. We have our nice thickened up sauce. We'll dribble that right over the chicken. There we go. That looks really nice. Top it off with a roll. And there you have it. Honey garlic chicken with butternut squash and sprouts. Nice dinner roll. Nice dinner for you. Nice dinner for me. What am I talking about? I'm going to eat this. Thanks for watching Bike to Table. My name's John. And remember, live to ride, ride to eat.